The one movie in 2023 I was desperate to see was Cocaine Bear, and my God, did it not live up to the hype. We're going to be talking about all of that right now. Hey everybody, my name is Matt Jarbo. Welcome back to Podio Commentary. And today, we're going to be reviewing Cocaine Bear, the new dark horror comedy film from Elizabeth Banks. You know, the movie that very much had one of the best marketing campaigns I've ever seen. Literally, like the best trailer I've ever seen. A movie that got not only myself hyped, but so many other people hyped just based off of that initial trailer and the concept. And man, the movie was just a massive ass letdown. It was just a massive letdown. And believe me when I say I'm not the only one that is looking at it from that perspective. But before we dive into all that, let's take a little bit of a history tour as to what the movie is. So the movie is a 2023 American comedy horror film directed and co-produced by Elizabeth Banks and written by Jimmy Warden. Jimmy Warden is like the only thing he's really done up until this point is the Babysitter Killer Queen for Netflix, right? That was directed by McG and co-starred his wife, Samara Weaving. So this movie is an idea that came to him after hearing the story about Cocaine Bear, which was an American black bear that ingested millions of dollars of lost cocaine in 1985. The movie features an ensemble cast, and that's exactly what they're going for. You got Kerry Russell, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Alden Ehrenreich, Margot Martindale, and Ray Liotta in his final performance, sadly. And the movie is, of course, dedicated to Ray Liotta's memory, and you know what? That was one of the better parts of the film. But like I said, this movie was inspired by the real-life events in 1985. The cocaine that was dropped from the plane was from a drug smuggler named Andrew C. Thornton II, who was a former narcotics officer and a drug smuggler who died jumping out of the plane with the cocaine. The bear was then found 3 months later in northern Georgia with 40 opened plastic containers of cocaine. The bear was taken, taxidermied, and is now on display at the Kentucky for Kentucky Fun Mall in Lexington, Kentucky, and has been named Cocaine Bear since, I think, 2005. So, I mean, that's really like the setup for the movie. But of course, in the official synopsis of the movie, it says, after a 500-pound black bear consumes a significant amount of cocaine and embarks on a drug-fueled rampage, an eccentric gathering of cops, criminals, tourists, and teenagers assemble in the Georgia forest. And like I said, when you are watching the trailer for this movie and you are enjoying like the spectacle and the craziness and the editing and the music and everything that this movie is promising to deliver on, God, it just simply doesn't. And I was so surprised at that in so many ways. I mean, looking here at just the ensemble cast that's available, I mean, Kerry Russell, Alden Ehrenreich, Ray Liotta, tons of great people in this movie, tons of great talent in this movie, but the story was simply just not there to back it up in the slightest. I was actually really surprised with like how bored I was watching the movie. Like, there's no character in this movie that I think you really want to root for. That's kind of my point. Like, there's no character you want to root for. Like, Alden Ehrenreich's character is upset that his wife died, as he should be. He kind of abandoned his kid with his father, played by Ray Liotta, who is a drug lord, essentially, and Liotta is upset at his son for kind of bailing out and ditching him with this kid. So like, that's part of the story. You've got Kerry Russell as a mom looking for her daughter and the daughter's friend in the woods. And those are like your A story and your B story. But then you've also got this other cop that shows on up, and there's this whole thing with a dog, and it's just like, it's a mishmash of scenes that just don't really go anywhere. Never mind like the three teenagers that, that whole thing was just not good. But look, when we talk about the movie itself, A Cocaine Bear, like, I was really hopeful that we were going to get something that didn't have to be like a social commentary. It didn't have to be something that was going to make you, as like a fan of violent R-rated movies, really kind of, like dive into. Like, I was hoping we were going to get something that wasn't going to be super significant. I was hoping we were going to get something that was going to be fun, that was just going to be entertaining. It was going to be a nice way to just kind of like spend a night at the movies. And I can honestly tell you that after watching this thing, quite frankly, no one in my audience, I think, laughed out loud once. I laughed out loud, I think, 3 or 4 times during the movie. And that is saying something. I chuckle at a lot of stuff. I laugh at a lot of stuff. And yet, really nothing about this movie made me laugh, made me entertained. I was looking for points in the trailer that I knew that I liked from the trailer, hoping that was going to be what moves us to the next scene, because nothing about these characters was really redeemable or likable or anything like that. And I don't quite know how it got to be this way. I mean, really, I'm very, 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 very concerned about that, because I don't know how this happened, to be honest with you. But again, audiences out there have also kind of agreed. The cinema score is a B-, which normally happens with horror movies. They are trying to play this up as a horror comedy. It succeeds on neither front. It succeeds on neither front. The gore is what sells you on the movie, right? It's a rampaging apex predator, 500 pounds of pure bear. And that bear is just tearing through people, man. But it's like they could have done so much more with it. They could have done like the plot of the movie could have been when the news breaks that there's all this cocaine lost in Blood Mountain. You could have had like a whole thing with a whole bunch of people heading up there trying to find the cocaine, and then those people would have been the ones that the bear would have taken out, right? As our heroes then are going and trying to do their mission. We could have had an entire like really interesting amount of just death sequences happening as a result of this. But then again, the budget was only like 35 million, and it really just, again, was not like, I don't know, like, I think they spent it mostly just on the cast and filming the movie in Ireland of all places. But it's unfortunate that Phil Lord and Chris Miller are promoting this as hard as they are, because it doesn't even live up to their standards. And of course, if you want to know more about the movie itself, I have written the outline for the Podio commentary full podcast episode about Cocaine Bear, its production history, things like that. That will be going up early this week on this channel, so keep an eye out for that. But of course, I do want to know what you guys think about Cocaine Bear, good, bad, or the other. Am I just up my own butt about this, or was it really just disappointing in general? Let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Thanks again for watching, and peace the hell out.